Alright, today's an exciting day for the bike build because this is where the bike really starts taking shape. We are taking the rolling chassis to my buddy's metal fabrication shop, and we're going to start working on the back end, which is a really critical component to a bobber. And there's two ways to go. We can either go with a hardtail or we can go with shocks. Today's the day we figure that out. So if you guys are new here, we already got the engine painted. We got the carburetors painted. It wasn't really exciting stuff, but it needs to be done to make the bike really nice. Also, the bobber we're building is being built from a 1980 Honda CB650 inline 4. When it's done, it's going to be a very unique, one-of-a-kind bike. And if you want this bike, you want to be the envy of your friends and everybody around you, you can win this bike. And the winner of the bike's also going to get a full set of speed and strength riding gear, helmet, jacket, gloves, pants, boots, the whole works. What you got to do to qualify to win is just go to patreon.com/motopilot. I got a feeling today's going to be a little bit tricky. I'm kind of going into it not knowing exactly what I'm going to do. I have an idea, but changing out the whole rear end as radically as I plan on doing, and wanting to lower the whole chassis. It's like 9 inches off the ground right now, and I want to lower it down to about 6 inches. I also brought the gas tank in the seat so we can mock that up, get a good idea of what the bike's going to look like. So that's cool. Alright, so here's my plan. I'm going to take off these shocks here and replace them with these Burley brand shocks. And the idea is to have the shock laid down like this and have it in a straight line with the backbone of the frame right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all this part of the frame. I'm going to cut this and maybe take this tube here and heat it and bend it straight down to where the shock mounts and lower the whole bike about 2 to 3 inches. All this will be removed, it'll be gone. We'll see how it works. I mean, if it doesn't work, we'll just scrap the idea and make it a hardtail. Alright, so as I mentioned earlier, the bike sits pretty tall. It's actually 10 inches to the bottom of the frame. My Harley is 6 inches, but this bike here has the exhaust comes down a little bit. So what I want to probably do is I think I'm going to lower the bike down 2 inches to 8 inches. That should be pretty good. So we'll drop the jack down. That'll put the rear swing arm in place. I have to raise the forks. Lowering the forks, I'm probably going to go in and cut the springs so they're shorter, but right now I'm just going to mock it to kind of get an idea of where the bike's going to sit. So we'll do that next. Actually, let's just do it right now. Actually, you know what? I didn't lower the front end at all. I kind of like the way it's sitting now. It is 8 inches right here. You can see the frame goes up a little bit. I don't really want to mess with the forks. Things will start getting weird if I do that. I kind of like it being a little chopper style. I can always lower the front end later if I want, but for today I don't need to. So let's grab a shock, see how things are looking. So the shock's going to sit kind of like that. So what I'll do is modify this area here, and then we'll get this pipe here coming to here, and see if it works, see if it doesn't put too much of a bind on the shock. But I like the configuration. I think the back end looks cool. And yeah, let's start cutting. Actually, another thing I did here real quick is I just wanted to mock it up and see how the gas tank and seat looks on here. The gas tank isn't in the right position, and this bracket right here is keeping it from dropping down in the back. So this will have to be removed. The seat will be mounted in the front, and that'll have springs in the back that hold it like this. But yeah, it doesn't look so cool because all this crap back here, but we'll mock it up again once we get the back end modified. Just want to show you that real quick to tease you. All right, I'm actually going to cut this off because I need to reuse this to move the shock mount down here. All right, so I want the shock to be about right there. So I'm gonna take this tube right here. I'm just gonna heat it here. I'll probably grind this bracket away and heat this tube and bend it down and lay right on top of that. And then we'll have a straight line to this backbone right here. All right, I'm also going to remove these bulky brackets here. These were for the exhaust pipes, and I'll probably have to replace them with something nicer, but yeah, this has got to go. Okay, we got all that done now. So now you can see this pipe. I want this pipe to be in line with the shock because I'm going to put the post for the shock coming off right here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat it up down here, and I'm going to bend it back about a little over an inch and line it up with this hole. So we will bust out the handy blowtorch and go to town. All right, dead on. So what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna heat this pipe here, bend it down. I think it's gonna be too short. Matter of fact, I know it's gonna be too short to reach this point right here. So I'm probably gonna have to cut this off and replace it with a new piece of pipe. So one thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this piece of this pipe here, kind of radius it to fit this piece of pipe better. Actually, I think I'm going to be butting this into here like that, so the shock is putting pressure on here. If I put it here, that's kind of a weak point because the pressure is going this way. Another thing I'm going to do for strength is I'm going to take this solid rod here, and it will go inside. I'll cut a short piece of it. It'll go inside this piece of frame here, and then the other end will go inside here. So when I butt this up to here, it'll be a lot stronger. Something else I want to get done while I'm down here is I wanted to clean up this countershaft sprocket. It's looking pretty bad, so I'm just going to hit it on this wire wheel and clean her up. Good as new. Alright, so what I want to do next here is I have this piece of tubing cut at an angle to match this. So when I put this on here, you can see it needs to get bent right here. So I marked it right there. I'm going to put a bend in it and bring it down to this piece right here. So that will be our next step. Okay, so I have this bent at the right angle. Now I just need to shorten it here, and then we're going to weld it in this piece of pipe here and weld it up here. See how she looks. Alright, so now I want to take this end of the pipe here and I want to radius it to match the radius of this pipe here so it's a better fit. So alright, so this pipe's all done. Now if we take the shock, put it right here, put the mount right there. So we have a nice straight line going up this backbone here. So the next step would be to grind some of this paint out of the way, here and here, get this tacked into place, use this piece of pipe to do the other side, and then that should be a wrap. Cap this off right here. But you can see the overall concept here, how this is going to work, how it's a nice straight line. Then I'll put a cross brace across there for the seat. And then we got to do a battery box. There's just a lot to do to this chassis, but this is a big step forward. It was actually a lot of work. Doesn't look like much, but it was actually a lot of work. This gives you an idea of what the final bike's going to look like. I mean, it's still pretty rough. The seat's not in the right position. This build series is once again sponsored by Tucker.com. They're supplying all the parts for the bike. The shocks came from them, the gas tank, the seat. Anyhow, that's all there is for today. Remember, if you want to win this bike, patreon.com/motopilot. And yeah, see you guys next video.